I am Valaine, and this is the Clay Soldiers Civilization project by the Sneaky Bros. If you have no idea what that is, I'll leave a little link in the description down below. You can go check out their channel and see what all this is all about. So, in this episode we are covering the Skytown. We are talking about everything that I did on the Skytown, how it was built, some of the choices that were made, why they were made, and we're going to be looking at some Easter eggs. And we're going to be looking at a little competition at the end of this video. So, stick around for that one till the end, and let's dive right in to discussing some Skytown goodness. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to bring up some videos right now of how the old Skytown looked before I even touched it on the Sneaky Bros channel. If you have a look at this here, and this is basically what it looks like. This is you know, I'm not gonna say it's basic or anything like that, because Ziklag made a whole video about that one. So it was a start point. It was a start point. It was served as an inspiration of what we were going for, and then we move on to what we did. We blew it up. We blew everything up on the island. It all went bang. It's all gone. And then we moved on to the build process. And as we started to build, we started off with the temple. And the temple was quite a nice, easy build. It looks more complicated than it actually is. So I'm going to bring us back right now to have a look at the temple while we discuss some of the build here. So all it is actually, it's just marble, not marble, quartz. It's quartz and quartz steps that have been aligned together. You have to use a mix of the patterned sort of lined quartz and the actual straight up plain blocks, which are under these clouds here. That creates the sort of the image that it's all just not one colour, because it adds a little bit of colour, just enough to show that it's sort of an interesting building. And then you have to work on all the different angles and the shapes and stuff. So how we did that, you basically, the whole process of this pillar, of this temple was built around these pillars. I built this pillar and I thought it looked quite nice, so I built the temple the same way. And all it is 4 blocks in the middle, they're empty, and then steps all the way around the outside, and then a 4-block pillar, and then it's just more steps the same way, and a little bit of extra blocks there. And it's very, very, very simple. But if you look here, each of the cornerstones is basically the same thing, with some more stairs thrown in the middle, more pillars, stairs all the way around the outside. It's not that difficult to build. You could probably build one of these yourself, but I did this as a place of worship. Now these are supposed to be either gods or kings. I think they're gods. These are the people that all the clay soldiers worship and hope to aspire to be like. And this was the whole idea. Now there wasn't an idea that we were going to let the fans of the project name these gods, but we never actually quite got around to doing that. So if you've got any ideas of what you want these gods to be called, leave a comment down below, because I do read them. In fact, just to address a few, if we bring up some of the comments from the last episode, here we go, bang, 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 there you go, look at these. I mean, one guy really went ham on them comments, and I read them all, and I've taken them on board, and I've got some ideas for the elven tree now. So that's really appreciated. Thank you very much for all your ideas. Keep them coming, and if you're new here, and you have some ideas, throw them in, because we're going to be talking about things I would change and things I would do differently. So let's move on. After we'd finished with the temple, we started building the main bulk of the village in stages 2 and 3, and this is basically where people started telling me, why are you using stone and not just quartz for everything? Well, quartz for everything is just very white. It looks very plain, and we're going for sort of a Greco-Roman style here. So the idea behind the stone was it looks stronger than the quartz does. It looks like it's buildings made of war, and ultimately clay soldiers fight each other, so they need some strong buildings, things that are vital to them. So like the shop and the forge, vital buildings. That's where they get all their supplies from. That's where they do all their forging. That's an important building. The castle, which I had to leave the same, I couldn't touch the castle, I wasn't allowed. That was made of stone. So it all tied together with the castle, so I decided to use a stone and quartz theme for that reason. Now, we're going to look a little bit in here, which is part of the bathhouse area. You can have a little bath in here, sitting amongst the clouds, and then you can get out and you can come down here. And we have our own little door, which is for the unworthy. So the idea was there were 5 blocks here, and on these blocks would stand 5 judges, or judicators as we were calling them. And they would judge a clay soldier who's made his way up here worthy or not. If they're unworthy, you pull the switch and you fall and you die. That's basically what our little secret door was. I think we called it the moon door from the Game of Thrones reference right there. So that's the moon door. Enjoy the moon door. That's the thing that you can play around with if you get up here once the map's gone up for download. So, moving on from the bathhouse and the village, which is just standard seating areas and bathhouse and a shop, and the watchtower. The watchtower is just a watchtower. It's just where they like to watch what's going on down below. They can watch all the wars quite happily up here. Let's talk. We talked about the castle, how that's one of the original buildings up here. That was meant to stay the same as was the observatory, which we're going to cover in a second. And this is just a battlement. It's just a place where archers will stand and they will shoot at anyone who has made it up to the island. They might fire a couple of arrows off the end just to see if they can peg an orange guy down there. Why not? But yeah, that's pretty much how that is. There's a couple of broken pillars because I like the aesthetic of the broken pillars. I think the broken pillars add a little something with a little bit of overgrowth. Nice to add some green in amongst all this white and grey. That's why there's also grass everywhere as a design choice to give them trees and give them basically some more colour up here than there was. The observatory is completely unchanged. You can actually come up here and at the right time of day you can watch the sun and the moon go down through this block. Very nice feature. I was told specifically to leave that alone, and to be honest I wouldn't want to mess with that anyway. That took a lot of time and effort for the Sneaky Bros to build, and they did a great job with it. So, okay, so what we're going to talk about now is when this was just 4 islands that were floating in the sky, I decided that yes, that looks really cool, but what if we add more little islands? If we make this like a magical floating place? So we've got one there, we've got one there, and then we've got one with a pillar on it up there, one with a tree, one with another tree up there, just one with a statue, just to give it more of a magical feel. Like this beacon, which holds the whole thing up, is more powerful than it was before. It's getting stronger, it's attracting more land, it's pulling in a mass. This civilization is growing, it's thriving, and they are only getting stronger from everything that they are doing. So they start to build houses out on them, and this is where the standing villagers live, and they can use the little feathers or the Pegasuses or Pegasus to fly over to the main village. But they all live in these nice little houses. We have a look in them. We've got little beds, little jukebox, little paintings. Got a nice view of absolutely everything. I really like these little houses. They didn't take that long to make. This whole theme didn't take long to make. But there's a few islands like this. I think there's one on the other side as well, just down there. Yeah, there it is. Look, that one's got 3 houses on it. And that's just where the clay soldiers live, and it's just a nice little design. It's probably quite safe. It's just what I thought looked pretty cool. You guys can let me know what you think about Skytown so far while we discuss some Easter eggs. Now, the first one is this one over here. Now, this little island here, Silver Chirin decided to come onto the server while we were building stuff, and thought it'd be really funny to make a floating island that looks like my floating islands, but it's made out of clay. I'll remove this monstrosity later, promise, Chirin. It's been almost 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, and it's still here, Chirin. It's still here. You've got work to do on that one, and that's a sign saying it's a subtle mockery, yet somehow fairly artistic. Which it is. It is fairly artistic. It's rude, and it shouldn't be here, but it is. So we decided to leave it for now, and it's just a little Easter egg. It just, in case no one ever noticed that in the video, that's not a real island. That's just a little fake island. The second Easter egg, now this is the more important one, and this is where our little competition is going to come in to play. I am doing this as a Valaine exclusive. You won't see this on the Sneaky Bro, so this is for you guys who have come here, either through Ziklag's direction, or through the Discord, or through any other means, through knowing me from my previous channel. There is a UFO up here. Now, you might be thinking that the Sneaky Bros have always said that the UFOs, a futuristic civilization, would never be in the project. It's only a fantasy, medieval style project. Well, so many people were asking for a futuristic civilization that I thought, you know what, if we go to the height of the world and build a UFO, maybe that'll keep people happy. And it's been here for a while, and a lot of people know about it now. But when I made this, it snuck its way into a few videos, and some people saw it, some people didn't. And the competition now for you guys is, there's a little sign in there. I want you, in the comments below, just comment something. Just whatever you want this UFO to be called. You can name it after yourself. You can say, name it after me, Valaine. You can say, name it Flying Metal Bucket of Death. You know, whatever you want. You say, name it this. Leave me a comment. And the one I like best, there will be a little writing in there, and that will stay in the project. You have my word on that. That will stay in the project. This will be the UFO of whatever you want it to be called. Just try and make it a good one. I'll pick my favourites. We'll have a little raffle or something. So that's that UFO. Yes. So is there anything else we can talk about the Skytown with? Because there is another competition I'm going to be running in the next few weeks. I started it over on my old channel, and I'm going to be bringing it over to this one because it's more relevant now. So we're going to talk about that competition maybe next week. I'll talk about it at the end of next video, which is going to be, I believe, on the Orange Traders down here. We're going to talk about the work I did on those. And then the week after that, we're looking at the Pink Vikings. And then we might cover the Reds as well, because I did some work on the Reds. I also did some work on the Purples. I've been a bit of everywhere. But for now, this has been the Skytown. Leave me a comment down below. Make sure you give that video a like. And if you've got any suggestions, anything you want to see, anything you want to change, because I'm pretty happy with this one. This is one of the ones I would leave as it is. But if you want to see something different, you let me know. Anyway, guys, till next time, see you later.